I have done a song at 1200 BPM. It is a tribute to a piece of music that I think is the greatest piece of music ever written. It is from 1952 by the composer John Cage, and it's called 433. If you are unfamiliar with it, it is a piece where John instructs the performers not to play anything on their instruments for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Instead, both the audience as well as the performer are invited to listen to the sounds of the environment all around them. To clear any misconception, it is not a silent piece, but rather a piece in the unconventional style of chance music that John Cage had pioneered. According to Wikipedia, chance music or aleatoric music is music in which some element of the music is left to chance. So, each and every performance of 433 is different, and it heavily depends on the surroundings of the listener. Back when I had just joined music college, I was playing many different genres and styles of music like blues, metal, psychedelic rock, and several others. However, the subject that I was enrolled in was Indian classical sitar. I often felt like I was trying to walk on a very different path, and that path did not seem to relate too much to whatever else I was playing outside of the university. However, when I came across John Cage's 433, I loved the concept so much. And the one message that I perceived as John saying to me directly was that the land of music is not made up of separate different paths that we have to follow, but instead it is an open field and we can run in any direction we want, picking up pieces from everywhere. I have always wanted to pay tribute to John's masterpiece that I loved so dearly. I even performed it at a few appropriate gigs. I wanted to make my own piece or song that takes the idea to the next step. But how do you take a piece where the composer tells the performer not to play anything to the next step? Recently, some of my friends and I were having a discussion on Discord regarding the phrase less is more or more is more. One friend said something along the lines of, if less is more, then does that mean that nothing or silence is maximum? They then went on to say that if this premise is accepted, then does that mean that more of nothing or silence is even more? Regardless of those discussions, it got my mind rolling. And I knew exactly how to take John Cage's 433 to the next step. I just had to make it 1 second longer. Now, coincidentally, the July edition of the Song Challenge, hosted by our overlords Ben Levin and Hugo Moreau, is just around the corner. And this month's prompt is to make a song that is really fast. So I decided to write my song at 1200 beats per minute. I did some mathematics and found out that to make my song 4 minutes and 34 seconds at 1200 BPM in a time signature of 4/4, I would need to have 1370 bars. Then I faced a problem. Ableton as well as MuseScore would only go up to 999 BPM. tortoises. On MuseScore, I could type in the tempo marking as 1200 BPM and it would actually show on the score as 1200 BPM, but when I played it, it would only play at 999 BPM. So I did a hack. I found a button on MuseScore that would increase the play speed of the score itself. When I put it at 120%, the resulting tempo was 1198.80 BPM. Close enough. But as a result of that discrepancy, my track was going to be 1 second longer than I had intended it to be. And I didn't want none of that. So I did some more mathematics and realized I had to shorten my song by 2 bars. So now it has 1368 bars. And each of those bars are filled with super fast moving semi-brief rests. Now it was time to record. I put on my best shirt, tuned my sitar, mic'd it up with the best mic that I have, fired up the camera, and to keep time, I played the exported audio file from MuseScore. And there you have it, a song at 1200 BPM, my tribute to John Cage, 434. Did you like it? Did you like it? I loved making it. I think it's one of my best songs ever. And I'm definitely gonna be putting that on my greatest hits compilation, which will come out in 2091 AD. I do really like to pay tribute to my heroes, to the music that shaped me as a musician as well as a person. I wouldn't be the musician that I am today without John Cage's 433. And it has forever inspired and challenged me to question what is the definition of music. I hope this tribute inspires you in the same way that John inspired me to push your own boundaries of music. Let me know which song or piece you would like to pay tribute to. I'm waiting. Oh, I can't hear you right now. You'll have to type it in the comments there, over there, down, over there. Okay. Are you typing? The video quickly. The video is ending. I've got to go. Stay on tune. Okay, bye.